just like my experience with Bloodborne, this game is going to take me a while to finish. And I know I try to get these reviews out as soon as possible, but I'm just warning you, unfortunately, this review is not going to be out as soon as I would like it to be, because this game is taking so long for me to finish, just like my experience with Bloodborne, which I'm not surprised by. So I thought because I buy the game when it comes out like everyone else, I'm not able to get a copy early, so my reviews have to come out as soon as I can. But because of all that, I decided to give you my thoughts so far on Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice until my review can come out. I'm hoping within the next couple weeks. I put about 20 to 30 hours into this game so far, and I feel like I'm getting near a finish, a close, where I at least finished the main part of the game and explored enough where I feel I can give a good review about this game. Obviously, I'm not going to be able to 100% this game, but I'm going to be able to finish the main storyline, and then I've experienced enough in different areas that I feel like I have a good grasp on how my thoughts about this game are. But I thought I'd give you my thoughts so far for people that want to know, what's this game like? Do you like it? How are you enjoying it? What are the cool elements about it? I know there are reviewers out that have it, but I wanted to give my 2 cents while I'm doing it. So I'm just going to give you my top 5 thoughts so far about Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice. And now I know my review is not out yet, but once it's out, my thoughts may change about any of these 5 thoughts so far about this game. So please don't take this as this is what the entire experience will be like. This is just my experience so far, about 20 to 30 hours into the game. So number 1, it is still a From Software game, and that means it's still hard. Now, it's not the hardest Souls game or From Software game I've ever played, but I think it is the easiest of all of them. But when I say easiest, does not mean this game ain't easy. This game is actually very hard. And I would say, if I wanted to put it on a scale where I see that Bloodborne and the Souls series are really on a regular mode scale, I would put those in like the very hard expert section, where I would put Sekiro as just a hard game, where I feel like I've gotten through this game at a better rate, a better pace compared to past games. And I think there are more elements that add to it besides just that I feel it's a little easier. I think there are more elements combined to make it feel like it is easier than past games that I've played before. But overall, I think it is an easier game in the series, which I think is a good thing for this game. And what helps make it really easy is this combat system, which is my number 2 thing. I think this combat system is simple, yet satisfying in all aspects of its combat system. I think it's really fun, and it's all about timing and blocking and parrying your opponent and just knowing the right time to strike like a real samurai does. And I really like that about this game. I think they do an amazing job in that aspect. There is nothing better than timing a perfect parry and being able to do a killing blow on an opponent. Every single time it happens in the game, it is so satisfying, and I keep wanting to do more and more of it, which makes me feel so powerful and strong. And I just love every aspect of that. I think it is a great element in this game. And yes, you do have the arm that allows for a lot of versatility in regards to different ways to approach battles. But overall, it is just your sword, and it's all about blocking correctly and knowing when to strike your opponent next. There is nothing super flashy about how to take out opponents. It is very simplified, and more simplified than I think in any other From Software game, and I absolutely love it for it. I think it is really well done overall. My number 3 thing, in my trailer reactions, if you watch them, there are moments where you see the grappling arm that allows you to go and traverse around the map, and it is so great. I think it opens up a thing of verticality that has never happened in a From Software game. I think what is so great about it is that it makes you approach every single area differently, like you've never approached it before. When you played something like the Souls games and then Bloodborne, they are quite similar in how you approach going into a new area and understanding how to tackle that area itself. With this verticality and the element of adding stealth with it, it adds a completely new way to approach every single zone that you go through. You always want the tactical advantage of being higher than your opponent and not them being able to see you. And I think that is such a great element that changes this game, that makes it so different. It feels so similar to all the other games From Software has done, yet because of this one change in the mechanic, it feels so different. And I love that. It is so well done in that aspect. And I think it just clearing the area in just stealth using elements like the verticality, I think there's nothing more satisfying doing that and making you feel like a true ninja samurai type of hero. I mean, I don't know if I would even call him a hero. We'll talk more about that when I have a review. Now the fourth thing that I want to talk about is the structure. And like I said, this game is so different than other games. And the reason why it's so different, because of the simplified combat, what it does so well is that throughout a level that you're going through, I feel like it's teaching me how to tackle certain opponents. So then when I get to the mini boss or even the boss of that area, I feel like it has taught me everything leading up to that moment that I truly feel, I'm not feeling 100% confident, but I feel confident that I understand what I'm attacking and how to approach attacking that opponent. That truly from each of those battles, I'm learning a skill and strategy that I will end up using to fight that next boss, which is a great teaching tool. It makes you feel like you learned something throughout the entire game. And once you fight those things, it feels like something that you learned. When you go back to the beginning and if you're grinding and you're just trying to get more, XP, or if you're trying to get more money or loot, or getting certain items, is really great to go back to the beginning because they're just so simplified and easy because you've learned so much from the beginning, especially if you've gotten farther out in the game. The farther you go out and then you go back to the beginning, the easier those opponents feel at every single turn and moment. And I think it is just so great that it just makes you feel like you've learned something and that you've been training for this moment, that you feel like the real warrior that you were meant to be as you are getting further and further through this game. Now, the last thing that I want to talk about is one of my biggest issues with a From Software game in general, with Bloodborne as well, and unfortunately it's with this game as well, is that they don't explain very much. Where they may explain something, there's two ways to tackle this. One, they either don't really explain it really well, or when they explain something, it's not in the right moment to explain it, and so it gets lost in the conversation. An example, there is in the beginning tons of wording in this game. There is so many pop-up bars trying to tell you how to do something or telling you what this thing involves in this game that you forget very easily on certain elements that pop up on the screen because there's just so much wording thrown at you in this very beginning. Within the first hour, I swear I read 10 screens that popped up in my face with paragraphs of wording. Not only that, in the conversations that you have with characters, you have to pick up on the details of every single one of them because each conversation is so crucially important to the story, to progressing, to getting elements in this game that you want. Every one of those elements is extremely important, and missing those can make you lose out in part of the game's experience, that you could experience something completely different than someone else because of it. Now, I think in this game, it is a lot easier, and I think they have done a better job in simplifying it a little bit more. And I think if I wanted to canvas this game overall so far, that I think it is a much more simplified experience. But when I say simplified, that's not saying very much, because it's still a very hard game. It's still very a complicated game. And it is a game that, you know, if you don't like the Souls series and if you played them before and played Bloodborne, this game is not going to change your mind. It's a little bit easier. Like I said, it's more on the hard mode instead of like the other From Software games where it's on the very hard mode. And so I think it's still frustrating for people. If you're wanting to give them a chance, this is probably the best game to give a shot at, to give them a chance. But again, it's still not explained very much. And I still think it is more simplified, which is better, but I think there's just too much wording, and they really need to simplify this a little even more in the future in regards to elements in the game. I know it adds a lot of depth, but at a face value experience, it's really difficult to digest everything that they are trying to tell you or everything that they're trying to show you. But overall, I would think this experience, I'm having a lot of fun with it so far. You know, thinking about it throughout this time, I usually in Bloodborne, I've actually thrown my controller on like something soft, of course, because I don't want to ruin my controller. Those things are expensive. Don't want to ruin those. So I usually throw my controller in frustration when I was playing Bloodborne. I've not thrown my controller once. I have gotten moments of slight frustration, but it's not been to a state in Bloodborne where I felt extremely frustrated about the game. I've been able to conquer each enemy progressively, and it has taken me time to do so, but I feel like I've been able to conquer every challenge before me. Compared to like Bloodborne, where there were moments where I was feeling like, how is this possible? How am I keep losing? And why is it not getting any better? And finally, then when it does happen, obviously hits that satisfaction where I feel like in Sekiro, I'm still getting that satisfaction with less frustration than I did before. It is still a very difficult game and very frustrating at times, but not to the point of throwing my controller. And so right now I'm having a lot of fun with the game, and I'm really enjoying myself, and I cannot wait to get my review up for you guys. But really, due to the nature of this game and what the aspect of it is, it's taking me a while, and so that's why I made this video. So if you have played some Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, let me know your thoughts below about my initial thoughts. Now, obviously, I am still working on the game. This is not for any spoilers. Please don't put any spoilers down about this game. That, you know, this is just my thoughts so far, and I'm open to changing my mind as I continue and hopefully finish this game very, very soon. So look forward to my review coming out soon, but let me know of your initial thoughts of Sekiro down below. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this content, I have so much more here on the channel. Freeze frame rate, check it out. Give it a like with a thumbs up and share it with your friends. And if you want to keep up with everything I release here on the channel, hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Mitch, and I'm signing off saying, see you soon.